Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you reasons why I don't think the euro or the British pound has much strength against the US dollar in the coming news and coming weeks we're going to see. First and foremost, what we see right here in the euro is looking at the daily chart, we have every tendency that this chart is likely going to go to the downside. Why? Well, in the recent weeks, we just had a break of the weekly low, and you can see the breaker structure down here. Uh, and after that break, well, price has found it extremely difficult to even try and pull back to the upside. And if it even does try to pull back to the upside, we have all the way to this high. And we also have multiple highs above it where it will most likely fail again. So if you look through it, we have high here, this is one, and then we have another major situation here up here with enough supply situation way above that zone. Now, taking a look at this whole situation, when you dive into the 4 hours, you also notice what happened yesterday was we saw price push severely into the upside and suddenly got rejected from the upside with a lot of sellers still in control in this market. This market has much more prime to go to the downside. Now, the CPI news is going to come out today. It doesn't mean that we don't have a chance to print upwards, but if you measure the distance between the upside and the downside, we simply have a very short run to the upside. And if you look at it carefully, the supply zones we have here are way above the 50. This is above the 50 Fibonacci rate, and this is above the 60 it's above 66.5%, which is something that you need to pay attention to. So as you can see, this is actually around the mid, meaning this has like a lower tendency to function, but then again, this has better tendency to hold weight. And then if you look all through this whole place, we have not created any daily demand zone. So this tells you there's so many reasons why the CPI data coming out today may just push to the downside. Looking into the 4 hours again, we have yesterday we created a very strong supply zone, and you can currently see price trying to print to the upside, struggling hard to print into the zone. If we see price seriously run up, we may see the data release push price further hard to the downside. And if it decides to push it to the upside, then we'll start to buy this market into the 50% areas and then well into the premium zones if the data comes out negative and the US dollar becomes weak. So that's my take for this market, the euro against the US dollar. Let's go into the British pound against the US dollar and see exactly what is going on there too. For the British pound against the US dollar, it is quite similar with what we have over there. However, unlike the euro against the US dollar, we have failed to close well below the weekly zone. So we still have a weekly zone waiting to be taken. But this is where the problem lies. We are currently, if you take a look at this entire move, because funny enough, if you look at this move like this, it's quite wrong because we've not taken out the zone. So the whole move, it's still this whole move. Everything here is still it's not even classified as a pullback until price breaks below the low. So what this means is what we do have here right now is a situation where the market is currently returning towards the 50% of its entire range, and it's currently being mitigated by a very strong daily supply zone. But however, the supply zone is within a discount level, which may or may not hold. So the other tendency we see here is we see a good daily demand zone down here. So unlike the euro against the US dollar, we have a good daily demand zone down here. And the only expectation is since price is bouncing off this one, price may come down into this zone to well off, come to the upside. And finally, it may go down. But in the long run, when you look at the weekly time frame, it is quite obvious that we're going to be aiming for levels such as the 1.30 levels, and other levels may possibly come through to the 1.27 levels for the British pound against the US dollar. So this is my take. I hope to see what you understand, what you think about this market. I would like to see your own perspective on this market in the comment section down below. Thank you.